Here we're going to be taking a look at the equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Now, this was something that you learned back in algebra, but very often people have to remember it. So if I have two lines on a graph, like I do here, and they have an equation of y is equal to 2x plus 4 and y is equal to 2x minus 1, I see that they have the same slope. When they have the same slope, I can tell that these two lines are parallel. Where if I have two lines on a graph that seem to intersect, by looking at their slopes, I see that this slope is a -1/2 and this slope is a +2. What I get is that the slope of this one, m sub 1, and this slope of this one, m, should multiply and make a -1. So m sub 1 times m should equal -1. -1/2 times 2 does in fact equal -1, and that's a reminder of perpendicular lines and their equations from when you took Algebra 1. Also a reminder from Algebra 1 is if I had to write an equation of a line parallel, so if I'm dealing with parallel to this y is equal to 5x plus 2, and I have to go through the point -1, 2. I know what an x is, and I know what a y is, I know what m is, but I do not know what the b is of this equation. So I'm going to use slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. I'm going to substitute my values so that I get 2 is equal to 5 times a -1, and I'm going to find b. This is going to give me 2 is equal to -5 plus b, or 7 is equal to b. Now I have to go back and substitute that b with the known m into slope-intercept form. So the line is 5x plus 7. Now to me, this is long form for doing something, because I had to go find an answer, to go substitute an answer back in. If I was trying to write the equation of a line that's perpendicular, and I wanted it to go through this point -1, 2, being that I'm pretty lazy, I'm going to use point slope form. And the reminder of point slope form is that y minus y sub 1 is equal to mx minus x sub 1. And now instead of thinking of this as xy, I'm going to think of it x sub 1, y sub 1. My new m that I need to be perpendicular to 5 has to equal -1 as their product. So this slope times 5 must equal -1. Well, my new m here is going to be a -1/5. I simply do the inverse opposite. So I substitute values. Y minus 2 is equal to -1/5, parentheses, x minus, that's a -1, so plus 1. At this point, I've written an equation. It's only if they want it in a specific form. If they said to write it into standard form, I would have to manipulate that equation, or into point slope form. But being lazy, I tend to just go ahead and use point slope form. It's the easiest form of the line to discover information in. Remember, math rocks with a capital M.